So everybody knows Ezekiel, the homeschooled weirdo who's destined for failure in every single thing that he partakes in. But what if I told you guys that there was a way, a legitimately possible way, that Ezekiel could win a season of Total Drama? And to be honest with you guys, this is not as big as a long shot as it thinks. With some characters you can write something that's totally out of the norm for them, but this works for his character a lot. And it also satisfies that popular redemption arc that a lot of TV shows like to do, because they offer feel-good moments for the fans and for the writers. So that is one of the main reasons why I could see something like this happening. But regardless, this is something that I came up with myself, and I was going to use it on a season if I ever did my own my way, but then I realized, why not make a video on it? Ultimately, I decided that in my version of Total Drama, I would never turn Ezekiel feral, but because he's already that way in the original Total Drama series, you can't just say he's not feral anymore. You have to give him a legitimate plot line and write something that's worthwhile. So that's what I decided to do. I sat down and I decided to write a plot line for everybody's favorite sexist, Ezekiel. This plot line features how Ezekiel can go from first boot twice in a row to the winner of Total Drama. Now I want to start off by saying going from first boot to a winner is not the most insane thing to think of. My boy Jeff did it already. He went from first boot in Total Drama Action to first place in Total Drama Presents Redonkulous Race. Now I know Jeff and Ezekiel are a little different. Jeff isn't exactly a villain or a monster, but it's still beside the point. The fact that he went from first boot to first place is pretty big, and it should go to show that it is possible. I know it was more likely to happen for Jeff than Ezekiel, but it's still possible. So now this begs the question, how in the world will Ezekiel go from first boot to first place? Because he's not just going from first boot once. He's going from first boot twice to first place. I think I would do this on a season where you're not trying to do anything significant with a big character, because this is such a big plot line that I wouldn't want anything else to try to overshadow it. So I would say doing this on maybe an underdog season, or just a season that's not as big as a season like Island or World Tour was. So the plot line starts like this. You bring Ezekiel back onto the show as a joke. That's what they think, right? But he's a legitimate cast member this time. This isn't like All Stars where they shoot him out of a cannon and they're done with him. This, you will legitimately have him as a competitor. And throughout the season, Ezekiel starts to become more and more domesticated. You know, he starts to become more of a human again. The reason why he doesn't get voted out in the early stages is because his team keeps winning immunity. Now, I'm not gonna have them run the table and have some weird offside like 7 people from team 1 are still in at merge and everybody from team 2 is out. I wouldn't want to do anything like that, but I would give the first 2 challenges to the team that Ezekiel is on. The reason for this is because it gives Ezekiel a little bit of time to have some kind of development, but it also gives people more time to try to understand his predicament. I would give Ezekiel more of a domesticated look by the time episode 3 rolls around, or maybe even episode 4 or 5. Because with this being a smaller cast, you don't have to necessarily only have 14 people. You could do 18 people or 16 people. And you could also do some type of aftermath show. The purpose of an aftermath show is to spread out the episode count for these characters. Now yes, Ezekiel may not necessarily be on this aftermath episode per se, at least with new material, but the fact that he gets to stay in for more episodes makes it feel like his story arc is not being as rushed, and I think that that would be huge for his character. I would also make this heavily focused on the aftermath show. I would make them talk about Ezekiel's transformation a lot. They need to make it known that this is a big deal in the Total Drama franchise. Now at this point I would start having people vouch for him. You know, I would have somebody say, hey, maybe he's not that bad, or hey, maybe we can actually take care of him a little bit. You know, have people that actually want to see him grow. So you would get a super nice character, right? I don't know who exactly I would pick because of the nature of the season. I haven't really determined yet. That's not really the focus of this video. The focus of this video is just Ezekiel's plotline. So I would take a character that is naturally nice and naturally wants to help people, and I would have them try to help nurse Ezekiel back to life in a sense. You could take a character like Dawn. That could be her purpose in this season, would be to give Ezekiel some humanity back. Who knows, you could even give Ezekiel and Dawn some type of relationship story arc. I know that that's kind of weird, but at the same time, we're talking about Ezekiel and Dawn here, so is it really that weird? But anyways, having Ezekiel have a human person that vouches for him and that takes care of him will help him a lot in gaining humanity back. He's almost becoming a human again in the same way that a baby learns how to be a human as well. You know, how a baby learns to talk, how a baby learns to walk, things like that. That's kind of what Ezekiel is doing here. So throughout the entire season, Ezekiel is growing more and more, and then I would make him a full-blown human by around the final 6 or final 5. I wouldn't have this dude making it to like the final 4 and still not be a full human. I think that that's kind of dumb, but I would definitely have him get really far. And I think at this point, you can credit a lot of him getting far to not necessarily Dawn, but just the process of him becoming a human again. It's almost like people are like, you know what, I want to see him grow, and if he leaves, then he's probably going to go back to his normal ways, so we kind of want to keep him around a little bit. So I think that you can give a lot of credit to him making it far, to the cast being a little nicer about it. I wouldn't say that they give him the win or let him float necessarily, and I would also say that there is a big antagonist in this season, so there's a lot more people to worry about than Ezekiel. So there's a lot of factors into why he keeps going far. You know, you're not just giving it to him because, oh, we feel bad for him, or, oh, we're busy, you know, like there's a lot of different things that go into, hey, Ezekiel's making it farther. I would also give him some immunity wins, you know, build up his ethos. The homie can't just float and have a cool arc and win, he's got to do some stuff too. This is why I would have him become a human around the final 6. I would also have him become human and immediately hit an aftermath episode after that. This will help everybody kind of digest and understand what just happened, give the cast something to talk about, the eliminated people, and then some guests, whoever they want to bring on, the host, things like that. Just having that big discussion in the episode about Ezekiel would be huge for his character because it helps the viewers digest and understand what's going on as well. The first episode after he becomes a human, I would have him win the immunity. Or you could even have him win the immunity in the episode that he became human in. You could also even try to give him an immunity whenever he's not fully human yet, one of those accidental immunities. This is not something that's necessary for this plotline, but you could do that. I don't think that I would per se, I just don't see the point in it. I think that his big story is the redemption of his character and him as a person. I would also introduce something like they do in Survivor, where you have the contestants' parents come in for a day and get to see them and hang out with them and help them in a challenge. The reason I would do this is because not only do I just like that idea, but I think that it would help Ezekiel a lot in his final transformation. That's why I would do this around the final 7 or final 6, because that would be whenever Ezekiel finally becomes a human again. It just proves that family is stronger than no other. And I think that's just a nice touch and a nice message to add to the story arc of Ezekiel, and I think that that would be something that would be really cool to see in Total Drama. And then from here, it's just all about Ezekiel playing the game, man. He finally realizes, hey, what the heck, I'm a human again. Yo, I'm in the final 6. I've never made it past the first elimination. This is awesome. He realizes that not everybody hates him and he's actually got some friends around him. And at that point, they just write it out. You know, they vote people out that they knew to. And I would say you give Dawn a 4th place finish here. The reason for this is because I would have her get eliminated same to how Jasmine got out in Pocatello Island. I don't want Ezekiel riding her coattails the entire season. I think you gotta get her out at final 4 or final 5. You gotta prove that he can stand on his own and he is capable of winning on his own. And that's why I would give him the immunity the episode you turn him into a human, and then from there give him a couple more immunities. Have him almost run the table at the end of the season. You've got to build up some credibility for this guy after he becomes a human again. And then from there you have him win. I don't know who he would win against. Again, that's not the purpose of this video, is to try to develop an entire season based around this. I'm just going off of one character's plot line. But you have him win, and it's a feel-good win. It's a very good win, and Ezekiel's not obnoxious about it. You know, he's pretty humble, and he's just really cool, and he's a lot more enjoyable in this season. And then at this point, everybody's feeling good. It's such a feel-good ending. Everybody in the cast, regardless of being a villain or not, can kind of get behind the fact that, okay, this was a dope story. And that's how I would write Ezekiel becoming the winner of Total Drama. But anyways guys, that's really all I have for you in this video. I just wanted to make a video talking about this plotline because I've had this plotline in the back of my head for a long time now, and I feel like, you know what, I just talked about potential winners in my last video, so I figured why not come on here and do a specific person, and that being Ezekiel. Because I realized in that video, I totally just disregarded the fact that Ezekiel could win a season, because honestly I was just flying through that cast and I wasn't really thinking about him specifically. So that's why I wanted to come on here and make a full-blown video talking about what I would do for Ezekiel's character, how I would have him win, and just what the season would be like. But anyways guys, like I said, that's really all I have for you in this video. So please like the video if you did enjoy, comment down below what you think of the video, and in the comments down below, let me know if you guys would get behind this season or not. Would you guys dig this storyline? Would you not like it? Do you not really care? I'm interested to see, so let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure to check the description below for my Twitter, my Discord, and all that stuff. I've got a lot of cool stuff in the description, so make sure to peep that. And if you guys haven't already, please subscribe. Thank you guys for all the support recently. I'm beyond grateful for it. You guys have been killing it. Seriously, thank you guys so much. So yeah, if you guys haven't already, please subscribe. I hope you guys have yourselves a fantastic day, week, and life. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Peace out.